Hi class and Professor Hernandez, my name is April Mann. The film I chose is called The Descendants. I had never seen this film and I thought it would be a good one. In the film The Descendants, we see an already broken family come into a time of crisis. So George Clooney, shown here, plays Matt King, and Matt King's wife is in the hospital dying from a boat accident. So King, who then immediately becomes the primary caregiver of his children, realizes that the relationship between him and his two girls is not all that great. His two girls, also shown here, are Alexandra and Scotty. And to add insult to injury, King finds out from his oldest daughter, Alexandra, that his wife, who is on her deathbed, had been cheating on him. A series of events occurs, and King ends up deciding to find the man who'd been having an affair with his wife. Alexandra, his daughter, goes with him, despite his hesitation, and Alexandra's friend, Sid, who is not pictured here, ends up accompanying them as well. So Sid brings some frustration and humor to the otherwise volatile situation. We'll see more of him in just a bit. The first scene I analyzed is a breakfast scene in the kitchen of the King home. So in this scene, Alexandra walks in. She's clearly hungover, and King tries to talk some sense into her. Maybe not the best time to have that conversation. But once they start dialoguing, Alexandra makes it pretty clear that no one notices the good things that she does do. The conversation then continues to escalate until King abruptly changes the conversation and withdraws from the conflict. So in this scene, King could have had an opportunity to begin to turn the relationship with his daughter around, even despite the fact that she was hungover, if he'd used some active listening skills. On Alexandra's end, she had a healthy dose of red flag words that can cause listening deafness. So some self-control on her end and learning to talk assertively would help her dad to better know where she's coming from without putting him on the defense. The second scene that I analyzed was between the same two characters. There was a lot of conflict between them, King and Alexandra. King walks up to Alexandra, who's crying on the couch. She just found out that her mom definitely is going to die. And in this conversation, King starts out very fatherly, but he tries to rally Alexandra to help him. He's needing help talking to other family members. He's needing help with babysitting, and Alexandra is resistant and very stubborn. And she finally lets her dad know the reason why she wants nothing to do with anything that it has to do with her mom, and she tells him, "Mom was cheating on you." During this conversation, there were a couple of moments where King's negative prejudice regarding his daughter and just her age, I think just her generation, that she was just a young kid, what does she know, became clear. And, for example, he was jumping to conclusions about her resistance without asking the questions. So he was definitely trying to problem solve, which makes sense for a dad in crisis. But had he slowed down to listen to understand rather than to retain power and control, he might have seen his daughter open up a little more because of that openness. The third scene in this film that I analyzed was when King met his daughter's friend, Sid. So King walks and put his hand to shake Sid's. Sid ignores that and instead goes to hug him. So King pulls away from Sid and says, "Don't ever do that again." And that really set the tone for the rest of the conversation. And from there on out, King just chastises Sid and talks over him, talks for him, and is just a bit condescending. So in this scene, I felt like Sid needs to grow in some self-awareness. He really should have taken the cue from King's lead and respected the personal touch boundaries that were being made when King put his hand out to shake his hand. At the same time, I felt like King's self-concept as an older man with greater social status had a lot to do with his condescending behavior. I thought it would be nice, since I saw the negative prejudice to the younger generation in this scene and in the last scene that I analyzed, for King to review his belief system of millennials and just be open to some changes there. So in conclusion, there were some pretty dysfunctional relationships in this film, much of which I think are pretty common in American culture. There were some redeeming aspects as well. When life crises emerge, we often see with greater clarity what's really important in life. This was a secular movie, however, all of my suggestions for improvement were given with a Christian worldview. I was looking for opportunities to bring peace and reconciliation between broken relationships. Just like it says in Matthew 5:9, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called sons of God." So that's it. Thank you for your time and taking a look at my presentation. Take care.